Speaking of which, time to look at our SANFL update. Of course, it's all for Farmers Union Iced Coffee. Remember, it's a Farmers Union Iced Coffee or it's nothing. 2 rounds to go. Things are getting really hot at the moment as we take a look at the results into round 16. Norwood with a big win over West Adelaide. Sturt will take that every day of the week over North Adelaide, Barmy. Adelaide over the Glenelg. South Adelaide, a timely win. Brad Gotch to join us in a moment. And Central Districts in an upset over Port Adelaide in that game. So it really starts to make the ladder take shape now with Port on top still, from Norwood coming, Sturt coming, South really much back in the mix with the Eagles and with Central as well. And the game we're going to have a look at is Sturt versus North Adelaide yesterday with that 19-point win to Sturt at home was a very big one, Barmy.
Yeah, there was a couple of big results there, and this is one of them. These teams are only a game apart, and this is a big win for Sturt. It looks like they're playing good footy at the right time. Those other 2 wins of South winning and I think by 5 or 6 points or whatever, so some pretty tough games.
And of course, Code kicked 6 in this game, Doherty kicked 5, and they've kicked 4 goals in the last quarter. North Adelaide came home hard, but it was the 33-point half-time lead that made all the difference, Dean.
Yeah, you look at this inaccurate goal kicking. We spoke about it in the Port game. It comes back to bite you. And look, Michael Code's been a fantastic player for Sturt. And
didn't work out for him at the Gold Coast, but he's really shown he can play at a high level.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Sturt are really pressing. I mean, we speak about them most weeks on this show, and they're getting their act together at the right time of the year.
2 wonderful bits of vision there. One of the coach's box. It doesn't matter where the coach's box is. There's pain.
Yep.
And just that beautiful view of the old Unley Oval with the hills behind. That's where footy's always been played.
Absolutely,
spots.
absolutely magnificent. Right, let's talk to Brad Gotch now. He's the South Adelaide coach, and he joins us on the program. And Gotchy, welcome. A win yesterday that keeps you right in the frame after a bit of a lull in the middle of the season.
Yeah, really pleasing, Hutchie. It was like a finals encounter yesterday for us, and we came through with the goods, so everyone's really excited.
Hi, Brad. Dean Brogan here, mate. Look, mate, a key player for your side, Jake Vader, was back in yesterday. How important is he? I know he's a local lad. He's from Port Noarlunga, I think. Tell me a bit about him, and where do you see his future?
Yeah, spot on, bros. He's probably one of our spirits of the club in the way he plays, and he is a local boy. Port Noarlunga's right next to Noarlunga, so yeah, really good story coming through the system. And look, he had a week off last week through suspension, so he had 2 weeks. We had a bye before that, so he's had 2 weeks to sort of to settle down a bit and get his body right, because he worked so hard, and he ended up really running hard in the last quarter when we needed him, and kicked a couple of goals, played on Lewis and Boyd throughout the day, who are really important players for the Eagles. So yeah, he's been our best defensive mid for the year, so he's been a great acquisition for us.
Yeah, gotcha. It's Neil Baum here. Now, you won when you had to win yesterday. You've got 2 in front of you now. You might get away with making it with 1, but I guess you'd want to win the 2 of them to give yourself a bit of a chance. If you get there, can you do something serious about it?
Yeah, well, good to see you, Baum. Good to hear from you, mate. Yeah, look, I think it depends on how the confidence builds, and it's been building over the last couple of weeks, because we've knocked Port off last week and then Eagles this week. So you'd like to think if we can get a couple more wins under our belt, we're going in with 4 in a row. So I'm sure that if we can get there, it's going to be a really good relief and excitement for the players. They've had a long sort of journey out of the system, and here's their opportunity to actually make a statement for a change. So I'd like to think that might lift them and inspire them to greater heights.
Gotcha, you've done a great job with this team. It's been a young side. We wish you well for the finals upcoming, and big one next week against West.
Good on you, Hutchie. Thanks, guys.
Brad Gotch joining us, the South Adelaide coach. Be very happy with that win yesterday, and so too with our next guest, Roy Laird. This is a big win, Central Districts by 3 points over Port Adelaide, who are on top of the table, and the 7-time premiership coach, Roy Laird, joins us. Roy, this is your biggest win for the season. Slow start to the year, but 6 of your last 7. You've got great momentum.
Yeah, we have. Look, the confidence in the players is just built now on playing some good sides and being competitive, and then going on and have some wins against them. So, yeah, look, yesterday we were really good for 3 quarters. We dominated the first half, and then Port ran over us in the 3rd quarter, but I was the way the players were able to arrest that momentum and go on and have a win.
I get the feeling that most of the other clubs hope that you don't get up, Roy, is what I'd be thinking. I know you probably won't be thinking that, but the job's in front of you. You've got to win the last couple of games and still might not make it, but it's been a pretty tough year. But do you feel as though you've got the next group coming through?
Yeah, definitely. And unfortunately, we probably saw that early in the year ourselves as a playing group. We had our share of injuries and a few things didn't go away early. And probably some of our young blokes took some time to become used to the demands of the competition. But as they've sort of accepted what's needed, and we addressed sort of probably our training standards early in the year, and since we've done that, the players' attitude's been outstanding. And I spoke about confidence. It goes a long way with a young group, and they're thriving on it now.
Hi, Roy. Dean Brogan here, mate. What's been the major reason for the turnaround, mate? I know Centrals can sniff finals because you're in them every year almost, but why do you think it's changed the last probably 5 or 6 weeks?
Oh, look, we had a game against Port Adelaide a while ago, and we were down to one interchange player for the last half, and that day we just showed some real character to hang on. We didn't win, but we got beat by 2 goals that day, but we just saw a real mental strength that the players were just prepared to have a go. And we've carried that through now over the past 7-8 weeks, but in having a go, our talent then has been able to show out. We've put together some really good footy, and gradually confidence has got back into the group. Part of that was also that our senior players, we lost Brad Symes, one of our co-captains in round 1, and a lot of our senior players, well, not that we've got too many, but some of those were out injured for the early stage of the year. They've come back into the team and been critical to us. With their experience, they've been able to pass on to those young blokes, and collectively as a group, we've just improved week in, week out.
Roy, it's been a wild ride. Great win yesterday. Good luck on the run home.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Roy Laird and Brad Gotch joining us. Great to have the coaches on as part of our SANFL footy update for Farmers Union Iced Coffee. The medal all the players want to win, Barmy. I know you're a big advocate for this. Is the Farmers Union Iced Coffee medal. It's hotting up, and this week's nominee is John Beach of West Adelaide, who's a classy half forward and is now one of the contenders, boys. Kicked 2 goals yesterday and a pretty tough day for his team, but nothing like a hard-working half forward, Barmy.
Oh, they are nowadays, aren't they? It used to be the old days, they'd sneak out there and hope to get the easy one and always have the clean shorts at the end of the day. But those half-forward flankers now have got to be the best defender in the team, which there was never, ever the case before, but also still be able to kick a goal. So, very important players.
It's a very hard position to play these days, a half-forward. You're right, Barmy. You've got to play a number of roles.
The winner of the Farmers Union Iced Coffee medal at the end of the season will win $5,000, thanks to our friends at Farmers Union Iced Coffee, for the player who's hard-working, determined, and has a win-at-all-costs attitude. Remember, it's a Farmers Union Iced Coffee or it's nothing. And as if you take a look at the list of nominees as judged by our experts on Footy SA through the course of the season, way back to Brad Symes early, who you heard there before from Roy, he's had some real injury worries, and a couple of young kids towards the end in Durden and Stretch who've been rewarded, and Beach, a classic hard worker, now becomes a contender. They're all in line for the $5,000, and we look forward to seeing that hot up over the coming weeks. We're going to talk to Heath Uni, who's the Adelaide SANFL coach, next, right here on Footy SA.